What the hell? We'll go live now. Yes, ask Mary, late night Cappy. Apparently that's the most unanimous thing. Well, there's very few things people agree on in life. And apparently there's all votes for yay, no votes nay on my late night Cappy voice. Late night Cappy. Hi. Are you for free markets? Are you for I was called, oh, you're radical libertarian. I'm like, I'm a radical libertarian. What does that mean? I'm like, really for leaving people the fuck alone? You're just an extreme libertarian. I'm like, what? I'm extremely radical at just letting people be and making their own choices. Like, if you're a radical libertarian, Hermit is a radical libertarian. Just have such extreme views, like letting people keep their money, letting people benefit from the wise choices, pay the consequences for the bad ones, and leaving everybody the fuck alone. Radical libertarian. That dipshit, what's his name? Gnome Chomsky. And I do mean that. He is a dipshit. I don't care what his IQ is. When he said it was the libertarian socialist, like, okay, whatever, dude. There's your quintessential. If there's a boomer, if I ever had, like you always talk about, if I had $1 billion, what would I do? And you don't want me, because let's think about it. Here's the philosophy of wealth. There really is only other human beings. You guys know that. So if you had all the money in the world, the only real reason a truly healthy individual who had billions, like I was Elon Musk or something, what I would do is fuck with people. I play practical jokes on my buddies. And a buddy of mine, he's so anal retentive about his house. He's always picking, spends more time trying to choose a house than living in it. I'd wait for him to buy a house. I'd buy up all the houses around him and paint them all pink or something, just like when he was gone. Oh, shit. I forgot where I was going with that. Well, here's Mr. Elkins. Hey, Mr. Elkins, how are you?
Hey, man, I just got in from, I think, one of your favorite pubs that's in my neighborhood.
The Green Mill?
No, you like O'Shaughnessy's, don't you?
Oh, I love O'Shaughnessy, sure, yeah. No,
yeah, I had some fun there.
That's more your pub, though. I think you've claimed rights to it.
I welcome all comers. It's so much fun tonight. How you been?
Pretty good. I'm in a good mood. I got Ludacris in my head.
This never happens. Oh my God. Cheers.
Yeah. Well, do you know what happened right before I signed in?
I mean, I could speculate, but maybe I shouldn't.
Go ahead and speculate. I love 20 questions. Go ahead, speculate.
Is it something that it's a lot of pretty much every guy enjoys doing that activity because it can be okay.
no, not that. No.
Okay.
That's not it. No. I don't get that much excited because that's like you're old. It's like, yeah. It's not like when you go to Disneyland the first time, it's pretty awesome. Maybe the second time, by the 50th time, you're kind of like, oh yeah, I know this ride. Oh yeah, I've been on that carousel. Oh yeah.
That was my only guess. I don't know.
No. So to log in here, StreamYard sends you a double confirmation. So I gotta check my email. And right below the StreamYard, guess what else?
What?
Got a notification from Teachable.
Yeah, you get some
here's another one. This is where the song came. And another one. Whoop whoop.
DJ Khaled.
You know Ludacris, the song?
Oh, Ludacris. Yeah, that takes me back.
And another one. And another one. And it's great because there's been some people who disagree with what I've been charging, which they have every right to be, but they're very upset about it, which I'm like, market. Why? It's okay. You have this mature understanding. And you know what? And there's a very good argument that I could lower my price and go for volume, which at some point in the future I might, but this is the first time we've launched it. If, I got other people who shall go unnamed, I don't want to mention these people, but they said, no, I'd price it here. They've been in this game a little bit longer than me. I say, price it here, dial in your marketing. And we've gotten more than a couple bites. I sold 5 tickets on this. And so if it's an issue of marketing, which again, I'm only marketing to new people who do not have the time to go through all my blah, blah, blah. I'm also trying to reach other markets. So it's like, okay, if you ask me now, let me see if you're an economist, Chad. Chad, if you had the option to sell tickets at $500 a piece or $50, which would you do?
This is so relevant to my business right now. Like,
Yeah.
Volume is not the way to go. After you've established yourselves, you need to have less clients or whatever who are willing to pay more of a premium, because then you can provide that much better service.
Well, and here's another thing, and I'm telling this to everybody, even the people who disagree with me. Some people politely and professionally disagree with me. Other people are like fraggy. So, but this is for everybody. The people ask, well, if you're for minimalism, why are you recommending we go into engineering? And the reason I say you go into engineering is so that you only have to work 2 or 3 hours a week. In the ideal world, down the road, you'd be a contractor. And what you want to do is you want to get to the point you don't need more money. Right. So you're minimalist on one thing, you're making a good wage on the other. And then if something comes up where someone says, I want you to do X, you could say, I really don't want to do X. And they say,
I'm at.
Right. And you say, I don't need to do X. I don't have to be a taker. I could be a chooser. And what you could do is essentially bluff. So if you're a minimalist, you can bluff your way. And you're not even bluffing because you don't need the money. And it's like, nah, I really need like $300 an hour. So when I did this thing, I don't need the money. I'm a minimalist. This is what happens. You could experiment. You can gamble. I could do the silver dollar bikini. You can take a risk with price because, okay, well, I'll still eat. You know, the electric bill is going to be paid. Septic tank funds, still raising funds for that. It's earmarked. It's budgeted for. I just like to have a legitimate reason for people to subscribe at Subscribestar. But you could get to the point, and you know what you're going to find out, and I'm sure you found this out. You'd be surprised how many takers there are. You know, like someone really needs their taxes done. And I told you what to triple your prices, right?
I did.
Yeah. Okay. Did you get any takers?
I got one, which makes up for, the 2 I lost that were only willing to pay a third of it.
And what else? What's the number one commodity you just saved? You increase your commodity by time. You save 2/3 your time.
Yes.
2/3 your time. And so if you can, and I keep telling you guys, if you get to this point, and let's face another thing, I'm old. All right. You're seasoned at least. You're not quite old yet, but you're no spring chicken. We're in our field for a while. We've had time to pay off our debts, get established, things like that. So once, especially when your debts go away, you can negotiate. You can like, well, I really need, what do I need to work a part-time? What do you want me to do to consult you? Really, it's going to be $200 an hour. Well, I can't afford that, but some people might. And so now not everyone, but there's a lot of people with thongs up their asses that, so then when I got right before I logged in, I was like, and another one. Like Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder doing the dance at the end. Do you ever see that movie?
I did, yeah.
God, that was a great movie. So that's it. We already got super chats coming in, so let me stay on top of these so I don't have to do a mistake. There's our buddy Atham. What can you see what the super sticker is? I don't know what the super sticker is. Those never come through.
I don't know if this is a fox or a cat or whatever it is, but it's
those
farting
Latinos
hearts.
Him and his sisters and Elena, Chris Beckloff's future wife. That's big within the Latin community. Like these foxes and rabbits, like they do this like super, like the animated GIFs are lots of hearts flowing all over the place. There's something about it. They like their hearts and their little animals. They're little woodland creatures.
I like one of his sisters when he texted the picture of us. He's like, "Yeah, who looks better?"
Tell everyone the story about that fell on my face.
Well, it wasn't that bad. We were sitting at a cigar lounge in Vegas, and I don't know how we got into trying to compare how we both look, but Atham took
that too.
Yeah, Atham took a picture and sent it to his sisters. I think because we were wearing those Mexican shirts, which were quite sharp.
Yeah, they were sharp. Yes. Yeah.
And I've worn it a couple times since I got back.
They're nice going out shirts. Yes.
Good sailing shirt. And so one of his sisters, I think she was just trolling you. One of his sisters is like, well, I think the other dude, me, was better looking.
Yeah. And I've known her for years. And I texted, I said, what are you, Brutus or backstabbing or Thomas or whatever? I'm like, what are you? So, no, I think she wouldn't lie. She probably did actually find you much more attractive until she meets you, finds out you're short. See,
I was going to say, it's not like, she's seen anything. She hasn't met me in person and doesn't know what else.
No, she doesn't know your deep, dark secret that he's short. He's short.
Tell you, without naming names, I hope I'm not that short, and that's all I'll say about that.
No. Well, this is, again, we go back to the phenomenon that people's eyes gravitate towards beauty, which is, again, why the millennials really don't exist, because they're a pretty ugly generation. I'm just saying. Anyway, no, seriously. Like, again, in Walmart, you will miss 98% of the people because they're all fat. And it's the same thing with the guys. Women do not realize that I'm average height. You're just a little bit below average height. You're not even like a third of a standard deviation below the mean. You're pretty squarely average. But unless you are like 5'10" or 5'11", the rest of you guys are all like background. That's all you are. You're just background. So
I got some great. You probably have stuff you want to talk about, but I gotta tell you,
I have some questions about movies of you. So, but yes, go ahead. You fire away your question.
Well, I was just gonna tell you, because this happened just now. I was at O'Shaughnessy's. What I did. There's this friend of mine who's also a client. She's 31, and so we did her taxes, and then we went to O'Shaughnessy's to hang out. I love it when this happens. It's so illuminating. I showed her my phone, with the dating app stuff. I saw her phone with the dating app. It's so interesting to see that from the other side. Like, is
the interface different or something? Do women have a different interface?
It's
or what?
the same. It's the same. But I mean, the amount of come-ons and bad ones, I might add, that like she was getting. I mean, guys really are. A lot of them are not very smooth when it comes to seeking their attention.
There was just a guy who got what's it called? He got fired. But don't Matt Forney me. Don't Matt Forney me. Mute it. Don't you fucking Sturzinger or Forney me.
My desk doesn't squeak, so you don't have to worry about it.
I tried to make noise, but I had softeners on the legs of the chair there. This guy in Australia, rudely so, was calling women who rejected his advances fat pigs and sows and all that. Well, they screenshotted him and went to feminists in Australia. Now the guy's been doxxed and was fired. So I can understand and feel sympathy for a lot of these guys. Yeah, there's a ton of, and just the sheer volume. I'm sure not every guy has the greatest game. I'm sure you and I have not been on our best games in certain evenings or certain days.
We're better than a lot of the stuff I saw earlier.
And in relation to that, the data I've been pulling for that, I got the Rule Zero thing is 2 days. Yeah, Friday I speak. So I'm doing the final touches. Holy cow. It's been such an insightful exercise. And I understand there's a whole different world on the female side of things, triggering me to kind of think about maybe doing it from the female perspective, doing return on investment of the pursuit of men. But I would call it something different. So I could, because people right now, and I've thought this through, people go, I'm going to do that. Go ahead. Do the calculations for the return on investment of the pursuit of men. You are already wrong. You're already wrong. But anyway, that aside, man, yeah, the numbers, I found a study done based on a guy did 16,500 swipes to the right. Is that when you like, if you like the girl, you go right, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Guess how many dates he got out of that?
What was the amount of times he swiped?
16,500.
God, I hope at least 100
dates, not matches.
Not matches,
dates.
10,
3.
Ooh.
Yeah. Guess how many matches he had? This is more insulting because you can swipe right all day, right? That's what a lot of guys do. It's just a numbers game because so few women actually respond. Now they've brought this upon themselves to have their inbox flooded with all these guys that are interested. So
16,000. I more than 100, right? Matches.
290 matches.
Still, that's not a lot with 16,000.
Not a lot.
swipes.
And then it whittled down, and he broke it down by number of texts. Like he'd send a text, immediately 100 of that 290 were gone. Like they matched, they liked him, but they wouldn't respond. And then it just exponentially drops off a cliff to where he actually ended up going only on 3 dates. So I understand women's inboxes are flooded. And I like the idea of Bumble, where the girls got to respond. So that provides a great filter for them.
That's what I was looking at. So there's two different ones, but we spent a lot of time on Bumble, and it's just a different world on their side.
Well, Bumble, wouldn't that screen out the weirdos? Because they have to actually like the guy as well. But then those get through and they're idiots anyway.
Well, so what, Bumble, the woman has to message first.
Right.
So, you'll see someone's profile that they liked you. The girl will say, yeah, I like him too.
Mm.
But the issue is that a lot of these women are doing that before actually reading what's in the profile. They just happen to see a picture.
Uh-huh.
And that was what I noticed tonight. Like, we were doing this real time. She was sitting right by me at the bar, and, she's like, here, watch this. And, we took her phone and I started swiping on dudes that I thought she would want to swipe on. She matched with every single one of them. All of them.
What do you mean she matched? Like he liked her too?
Yeah, so the guy likes, if you're a guy, you like the girl first, you swipe.
Okay.
And then it's the girl's turn to swipe right to see what guys she likes.
Right.
And what I found so illuminating, when you're a guy and you swipe, you're just swiping at everything. Maybe you'll get a match, but probably not.
Right.
When I was the girl, when I was her, swiping right, every single person that she swiped right on already swiped right on her. It was crazy.
Right. Well, that would guarantee 100% match, right? If they already swiped right and then she swiped right on them, that's programmed to be a match. So it's not shocking.
Well, what is shocking is that, women swipe right too, and there's not always a match. Like it's supposed to be
on Bumble?
Yeah, on Bumble, just because. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're a woman, just because you swipe right does not mean that the guy you swiped right on swiped right on you.
I thought they all were there. Okay, all right. So
no,
every guy matched. Okay.
That's why it was so eye-opening. I'm like, you're matching with every single person I swipe on.
Right. I don't know if you know of this guy called Rollo Tomasi. Women are human beings. Women are human beings. Men are human doings. And that just is yet another data point that we have there. But yeah, that you could see the opposite side of the math on that one, where the response rate is what, 1/5,000th. I mean, what? Yeah, 1/5,150 or something. I mean, that's and I apologize. I officially offer my apology to you and anybody else where I'm like, how bad is it? After going through my buddy's online profile, like I used his because I'm a cheap guy and didn't want to spend the money on whatever the hell match. So I went through 900 profiles. I'm never criticizing you guys ever again. As a matter of fact, the only thing I'll criticize you guys about is why the hell are you even on those apps? Like, just go ask a girl out in person. It's such a waste of time.
So a couple of things with that. One, I'm not active on these things anymore. They're just, they're ridiculous. But two, this isn't just an excuse. This is flat out true. In this age of Coronachan, where everyone's like, skittish about not having a mask on and sitting near you, it actually is quite a bit harder to try to ask people out in person.
It's I just take a break. I just wouldn't bother. I mean, looking at it, when you're young, you got the energy, but I'm looking at now all this data and numbers running through my head. I'm like, oh fuck no. Just we're talking, like trace elements, they do parts per, there's cyanide in everything, or there's gold in the ocean, little trace elements of gold. That's why there's trace chances with this online dating shit. And I did some quick math at 16,500 to swipe. That was 3.5 hours of just swiping. That said nothing about crafting the 100 emails or texts or messages he did. Guys, this is a huge pissing away of your most vital resource, and that is time. And you guys just got to find a better strategy. I don't know what it is. I just think asking people in person would be it. But my God, these online dating apps they are killing. They're worse than, I'm trying to think of something that's like soap operas. They're worse than soap operas. You're better off watching a soap opera because at least there's no hope or expectation. It's just, here's some really bad entertainment.
I thought you were going to say porn.
No, porn's better. Yeah, it is. It's worse than porn. Porn, there's a payoff inevitably, I believe. But no, I wouldn't. This just going through, and I was only on, I think I was doing it for like 5 hours, cataloging all of them and doing the numbers. And I'm like, this is shit. And what was very funny, so I did to be scientific about it. I went to Dallas, Denver, and Minneapolis. I wanted to include a coastal town. I just didn't have the time. When I publish the book, it'll have more tight, refined data. But I did 100 variables in the city, 100 variables in the suburbs, 100 variables in the country. But while I was in Minneapolis, because my buddy lives in the Twin Cities, he's like, well, if you find anyone, let me know. And I'd find a cute girl. I'm like, hey, what about this one? And he's like, look up top. See if they see there's like something, your history. That says your history. And that means you texted her before. And I said, oh, yeah, you got a history. And so anytime there was a cute girl or one that would be interesting, of course, he had texted her or messaged her or whatever. And I said, did this one contact you? No. This one contact you? No. This one contact you? No. And I've never seen such a lopsided statistic. I've never seen it's like throw it in. You're gonna give up, put in the towel.
It's pretty bad. Shout out to Doc Perodin in the chat.
Hey, Doc's here.
Yeah.
Doc was real kind. He put together a funny video promoting the seminar. So Anthony CMA for $5. I'm considering attending MIAT for welding in 2021. If there are any welders watching, please lend me your wisdom in the chat. Please help out Anthony. Anthony's regular guy here.
What's MIAT stand for? Masters in, I don't know.
No, I think it's a school, Massachusetts Institute.
Oh, okay.
Something technology, automotive technology. I don't know. I just want to stay on top of it. Yeah, there's Dre.
You want me to do these, or do you want to do them?
Yeah, why don't you do them? I can save my voice because I got to rehearse my video tomorrow.
Yeah, let me do these. Okay, so the next one is that Dre? Yeah, Dre for $5. Cappy's next best-selling books are the Happy Feminist book series, Book 1, Career, Book 2, Fur Babies, Book 3, Egg Freezing, and Book 4, Spinsterhood.
Do you so going back to the online dating I'm an expert now. Okay, so there's always the fur babies. I had no clue how common that was. That is like 65% of the women. 2/3 of them all got the fur babies. All right.
Yes.
Number 2, I knew this before, but I didn't know how pronounced it was. Oh my God. Did you know every girl likes to travel?
I didn't know that. Did you know they like tacos?
Wow. Do you like air? I like air sometimes. How about you? Do you like to, Chad, do you ever sit down and take a good fresh breath of air? Have you ever tried that yet?
Now pay attention. This is what I really like. Okay. Now pay attention.
Uh-huh.
I really like to go out, but sometimes I'm just as happy staying in.
Sometimes, what? You know what? I have that same thing. So I found a new one that kept coming up.
I like to have fun. Is that it?
No. But this is just one bare sliver. It's like a D-, where the girls are like, looking for my partner in crime. Have you gotten that one?
Oh, dude, that's in like almost all of them.
Yeah. I was like, looking for my partner in crime. I'm like, oh, are you edgy? Do you commit crime?
Every stupid cliche in the book.
Well, and that's my main complaint is I kind of, it's always, is the data I'm getting reflective of the real world? And this is the most comprehensive study I've done. I'm like, yeah, it is. And what you have to draw the conclusions, my main complaint, is that they're all common. They're just
basic, very
basic.
Bitch
is too good of a word because that indicates like a little bit of edge. They're just pieces of paper, mass produced. They're pine needles. They're blades of grass. They're boring.
I tweaked my friend's profile with her approval because she had some of these dumb cliches on there. So I added some originality. We'll see if that changes anything.
Did you charge for it?
No, she was buying me drinks because I did her taxes and we were just hanging out.
Right. Yeah. I started toying with the idea of having women pay me. And I'm like, look, you gotta really clean this up here. I know everyone's responding to it because they just want to have sex with you. If you want to find a husband or something serious, you better really clean this up or change this crap. And then I realized women don't listen to advice, so I just won't bother.
I mean, 6 hours ago, I would have agreed. She seemed to be taking my suggestions. It was nice to have her seem to do what I was suggesting. So that was nice. But it's because I'm friends with her. The average woman, They're not going to listen to you.
Is she good looking?
She's pretty good looking, yeah.
Why don't you go out with her?
I already did.
Oh, well.
This was my first, let's just say, hangout session after Cuddlewooks. This was the very first one. So.
Oh, okay. What is it? Is it the Netflix and chill you cool hip kids do?
Well, we're going back to the awesome days of early 2018 when like life didn't suck the way it does now. But yeah, as soon as I moved out, it was nice to get some relief there.
Anyway, well, thank you, Dre. By the way, did you know Dre is a black man with an enormously huge penis? Did you know that about Dre?
No, but I did know he's 6'2".
He's 6'2".
You know that?
He bangs women of different flavors. Did you know that?
I think I heard something about that. He's got another super chat that we'll get to.
I'm sure he does. Yes, I'm sure. Hey, it's kind of good to be back. I haven't done that many podcasts because we were out hiking and I was all doing the seminars, everything. So I'm concluding 2 months of the most amount of work I've done since college, because I published that Sanity is the Future of Wealth, banged out 2 seminars, marketed one, doing the next one tomorrow, and then that one's got to be converted into a book later. But like, it's all done. I'm never doing this again, like where I take on this many side projects. But it's nice to get back and just do a podcast, albeit it's at night.
So does all that work include a 14.5-mile hike?
Yeah, that was physically that was 16 miles we did, though.
Was it?
Yeah, because remember we went up to, what was it, Holbrook Wall or whatever, and then back, and then we went up to the arch.
The Hop Valley, is that what it was called?
Yeah, Hop Valley. That's Hop Valley Trail. Yeah.
Yeah.
Atham, look that up. Yeah, we did. That does count because I don't consider, unless it's hiking, which I enjoy. I consider any kind of working out actual work. Now I enjoy hiking, but it still physically taxes you. And so that does have even though it's healthy for your brain in one regard, since you are taxing your body, it's also drawing in another capacity. So yeah, it was exhausting. By the time I got back from Vegas, I was like, oh, I just did nothing. I just sat and did nothing. JD 1989, new guy for $5. Cappy, I'm a security officer who works 52 hours a week and is looking to get a CDL. Is it a good direction to go? P.S. I suck at algebra.
It's a CDL.
That's a commercial driver's license. He drives truck.
Oh, okay.
No. It's fine, yeah.
That's not going away, is it?
No. They dude, all these people, the AI cult, where they think tomorrow robots are going to take away all of our jobs. Now, there's of course automation. That's true. But they use it usually as a reason. Well, we got to get it UBI. It's like, no, you go learn to program code so you can program the robots, you dumbass. And you make a lot of money working from a beach in Thailand, programming robots to build your shit. That's essentially the ideal world, is robots do all of our manual labor. We program the robots to do what we want them to do. And we get paid egregious sums to do that. But that's not sexy. Yeah, you can. I mean, it's a step up from security guard, sure.
I suck at algebra. What is that?
That means he hasn't tried at algebra. You don't suck at algebra, JD. I guarantee you do it all the time. You just don't know it. It's because it was taught to you like in, algebraic formulas where it has to balance. But if you have to figure out any kind of math, like, well, a balance or, I got X over here, I have Y over here. How do I reconcile those two? That's algebra. I don't know when you probably never use FOIL. First outside, inside, last. Remember that?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Never use that.
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Product equate. There's some acronym.
Oh, the order in which it goes.
Yeah, it's like parentheses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
SOHCAHTOA?
SOHCAHTOA? What does that mean?
Great Indian warrior princess. Who knows Princess Kuantaha? They were cousins. SOHCAHTOA. You never heard SOHCAHTOA? SOHCAHTOA. You know what that means?
I never heard that.
Oh, no, that's great. It was for trig. Sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent equals opposite over adjacent.
God, I hated trigonometry. Oh,
I love trig.
You liked that?
Oh, you can figure everything out with trig, man. Trig was great. Like if I have to fire a projectile this way, what kind of angle do I have to? Yeah, you can. It's fine, but you're gonna have to be able to do like a tear weight versus net weight and do some math. But I think they just want you to drive the truck. I think you need 8th grade math to do that. I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah. I don't see why he shouldn't do that, but you're the expert.
Yeah. Do you have Unifrog? Do we see what the super sticker is from Unifrog?
You know, it just says super sticker. Like the one Atham had a graphic, but even on my screen, it just says super sticker for $2 Australian. So yeah, that's all I got.
Iron Eagle. Remember the movie Iron Eagle?
I do. I loved that movie.
You know, one of those movies, if you saw it in middle school, you thought it was great, and probably now you wouldn't really like. You'd be like, "That's the dumbest movie I've ever seen." So Iron
It's
Eagle.
got Louis Gossett Jr.
I know. Yeah, I'm not saying I didn't like it. I don't want to watch it now as an adult because I'm on an F-16. That's not a MiG. That's a French Saab. What? Iron Eagle one. Oh, you read. What am I doing?
For $5, they should call it fumble, as most of the women have been dropped on the ground and look like a used-up leathery ball passed around by many men. Quite a few of them do look like that, honestly.
Fumble instead of bumble. I get it.
Yeah, because a lot of them, I mean, you've heard me talk about how there's going to be I was going off on this when we were in Vegas. Like, there's going to be so many leftover women in their 40s that never found men.
There is going to be, and my numbers verify. Dude, marriage is dropping off a cliff. I could tell you guys all this, that I still wouldn't even scratch the surface. You know, I was thinking the quote unquote book would be essay length. And I'm just thinking to fully analyze it, or not even fully, but to do it justice. It may end up being another 200-page document or a real serious book. But let's just put it this way. All the research I've been, and by the way, if you didn't know, I'm doing a speech for the Rules of Euro guys on Friday, but you can't attend because the enrollment's been closed off. It's called Calculating the Return on Investment on the Pursuit of Women. And the numbers verify everything that you're experiencing because it's real. It's not you. It's not bad luck. It's like, nope, this is nationwide. This is real. Your sensors are working just fine. Your radar is working just fine. Everything. It is that bad. And that's not an opinion. It's not me spinning it. It's just like, wow, it is that bad. So yeah, guys, go fish, go boat, go build a moat, go hike, go gamble, old man poker.
Go to a pastry shop in middle of nowhere, Utah.
Oh, that was good stuff. All right.
I'll handle this one. Omen Crimson for $5. Hey, Elkins, I plan on becoming a CPA in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. I plan to live in South Carolina. Should I try to get my CPA for both states? No. Your CPA license, it's not like you're an attorney where you have to be licensed in certain states or states with reciprocity, and then you can only practice in those states. If you have your CPA, you just need to get your CPA. Like, it's the only thing that's state specific is the requirements to be licensed in that state. I'm licensed in Illinois. If I move to Milwaukee, I can practice without having to get a Wisconsin license. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense, but I didn't know that about CPAs. So wouldn't that drive most people to go online at a local school that has the states with the least amount of requirements?
Normally that would happen. In the last, and I know this because it was 10, 11 years ago where I was in the process of getting my license. It's become just about uniform now. Like, there were differences in the states back around like 2009, 2010, where some states required a certain amount of hours and others require less hours. Now, pretty much every state requires 150 hours. And if you do the math, that's getting a master's after undergrad. So it's a big racket. And almost all of them, now this is a little more variable. You have to have a minimum of 1 year of experience working in accounting. And in some states, it's 2. But the academic requirements are pretty standard. Okay.
Well, there you go. I mean, save yourself a year at a time. I hate these fuckers. I hate these credentialing motherfuckers.
It's a racket. It's just one big scam.
How do you make it? You know, they want to help young people get employed. Well, how about you make it easy for young people to get employed?
Well, let me tell you why. I'm supposed to be happy they did this because I guess they're trying to artificially limit the supply of
scarcity,
credentials.
Right. Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So it's better for me, but I'm not saying that's right because, I mean, you really should be trying to encourage people to become credentialed and experts in this instead of limiting it. I think.
So there was an article 5-6 years ago. The Minnesota CPA, he was license number 4. He got the 4th CPA, which I didn't know the CPA was that recent of a designation. Very old man.
Yeah.
He passed away. Do you know what his education was?
You told me this one time. Did he not even have a college degree? Is that what it was?
He had an associate's.
Yeah,
that's all he had, and he got his CPA, and that's what it was. That's what it's like today with computers. Like, you don't need a degree; you need your certification. Well, right. Now that we have to worry 70 years from now, everyone's gonna have to have a master's degree in computer science before you could. Piss me the fuck off, man. Like, I'm not a big government interference guy, but if I was president, a king, I'd be like, call the Society of CPA heads. I'm like, hey, how you guys doing? Do you like your jobs? Do you want to be regulated by me? Or how about you lower it back to you pass a test and you don't need a degree? Okay, I understand your work requirements, but you're not going to college anymore. But
the EA, the enrolled agent, you know about that, right? That is kind of that's the compromising way. You can get that without having a master's degree, so they're at least trying to help people out that way.
Well, why even a master's? Why even a bachelor's degree? My point is educate, which you're with me on this, but I'm trying to point this philosophical observation out to other people, so maybe you guys could spread. Why do we even need to force people to go to college if they can pass the CPA exam? It's a very rigorous exam. Why are we forcing anyone to get a college degree when we could just have, as I've advocated before, to make education free? We have standards boards in every profession that if you want to do this, you got to pass this, just like they do in computer science and programming and stuff like that. Certainly get a degree if you'd like, but we need the certifications. And you could study online for free. You pass the test, you get your government approved bachelor's degree or certification, whatever.
I don't even know, man. Like, there's so much fluff and waste of time classes requirements that we're required to take.
I'm so pissed off because I have this. People want free education. I'm like, here's your solution. I'm literally one of the world's greatest economists. Maybe not the best. Maybe not the best alive today, but I am one of the best because I actually provide some solutions. Try to stop the fucking housing bubble. Try to stop the .com bubble. Try to stop the education bubble. I got an idea. We can make things for education free. How long have people wanted education to be free?
How long has Bernie Sanders been in?
Since forever. I'm sure the boomers didn't even want to pay the $50 per 4 years of whatever the hell pittance. $50, man. Well, I can't buy a Doors record for that, or whatever they said back then. We have it for commuting, telecommuting. How long have I been pushing that?
That's really become a reality.
Now it's a reality. It took a pandemic for it to happen, but we wasted 2 decades of people's lives, unnecessary commuting. What is the other one? Sales tax. I'd eliminate your career. We would never have to file taxes again. And it would solve the franchise issue, like who has the right to vote. Like, did you pay your sales tax? I guess everybody gets to vote then.
Remember, like I told you, if they simplified the tax code and made it that way, I would be happy. I would be happy. Yeah. There are other things that I can do with this, the degrees and the certifications. You go down to Boys Town.
I know what you would do. And then, Jack Napier, he tweeted to me before we went live. I'll explain this again. What do you know? Not my position, but what's what I'm looking for? How much faith and hope and potential I see in vasectomies.
Well, you were leading by example, and I think they could be on the verge of expanding in numbers. Is that where you're going, or
why would I make vasectomies mandatory for every young man at the age of 14?
Well, that means
very not libertarian, by the way. I understand that.
Well, what I would think the obvious answer is that you would have to opt in to having kids instead of it just being the default, right?
Right. Can you still get viable sperm post vasectomy?
Of course you can. You can freeze it if you want, or do whatever they do.
You have 3 options. You could freeze it, you can reverse the vasectomy, or they do a more direct extraction. I forget the exact medical term, and they did some studies and found they were successful in extracting. It took 5 tries in some guys' cases, but they could get your sperm, viable sperm. So when you have a vasectomy and the teachers and professors and doctors, oh, you'll never have kids, you're cutting your balls off, which is not what a vasectomy is. They are, for the most part, lying. You can get kids, okay, especially if you made a sperm deposit, all right? What would happen if every boy got a vasectomy at 14?
Well, you're not going to have any problems as far as oopsies and
right? There's no oops, there's no sperm jacking. Bigger. Probably the number one goal of economics, the number one goal of society. It would actually shut everybody up about politics, or they'll find something else to argue about, but it would drastically change the political debate. It would eliminate it.
Well, I mean, are you saying that there would be more nuclear families? Like where else? Maybe. What has the plight of humanity been in terms of economics? What are they always trying to eradicate? Well, you want to eradicate poverty, but it's like
poverty.
Is that so? Okay, so what you're saying is if you make it so people can't have these oopsies, it's going to reduce the amount of poverty we have in government assistance and single mom.
It would drop it by 85 to 90%. Because the number one, now there's other causes of poverty that are unfortunate and outside of human control, like you're born disabled, either mentally or physically. You can't work, right? Which is nobody's fault. I'm trying to think what you're in an accident, whatever. There's reasons for legitimate.
You get cancer or something.
Cancer, right? Yeah. And you're not going to find one person who's going to be against some kind of government program to help those type of people.
Never.
You eliminate bastard kids in single parent and broken homes.
You eliminate the incentives, right? For
no. There's still the incentives. It's like prequels. It comes before anybody even thinks the battle is there, and you suck all the oxygen out of the room. It's like, no, there's no kids. You know why? Because now it's men's bodies, men's choice.
Boy, that would be great.
And it's done. You don't get his sperm until he goes into surgery or presses the boop, boop, beep, beep code on the sperm bank in the cryo chamber, and poof, out comes the smoke or what. I'm sure it's not like that, but maybe it is. It just sounds cool, science fiction-y.
You just know the feminists would read.
Nope, and then we just turn a mirror and say, our body, our choice. Now, seriously, go find a stick and go fuck yourself. But forget what feminists care or read. That doesn't matter. My point is, and this might be my one shot at life, what I want, but a guy's already on it. If we can get we get everyone to recycle, we get every young boy to get a vasectomy at the age of 14. I guess we'd have to do 18 as an adult because they gotta get the parents
until then. Yeah.
Right. But all we have to do is follow the model that they do for young ladies. They're in the high schools and the middle schools. Like, oh, do you need pregnancy care? Do you need birth control? Okay, here you go. Oh, your parents don't need to know. We could piggyback off of that under the not the guise, but the principle of equality. Like, you do that for a 15-year-old girl. Why are you giving vasectomy consulting to the 15-year-old boy? And dude, the problems go away. And now we do have some black people listening. Do you know we have a black male audience?
What?
No. Yeah, like not just Trey. Apparently there's more black guys than just Trey. Do you know we have maybe one or two Latino males in the audience?
I mean, I can think of one.
Is it only Latinos and blacks that deal with baby mamas?
It is not, despite
it
how
is not.
Some people try to color that.
Maybe they perform a little bit better in the baby mama Olympics than other. But my point is, it's universal. Maybe not within Asian communities though, but they do have them every once in a while. Guys, I can make baby mamas go away like that. Maybe not for you if you already have one, but we can eradicate baby mamas. It's not a thing. You don't have young men today. Look at your older brother who has a baby mama who's he's got to pay that check because he didn't wrap it up because he's an idiot. Dude, for $2,000 on the high end, you can make sure that never happens to you. And then everyone's going to come in and scare you. Oh, you never get cutting your dick off. Oh my God. Which look it up. Look up Google. And I'm kind of surprised Jack didn't know this. Jack, I thought would be a little bit better research. Go online, do your research. That's not what it is. And then, and only then, when you're ready to have a kid, then you say, I'm going to have, and dude, you can have as much sex as you want. Now, every once in a while, I will tell you this, there is a recidivism rate where the vas deferens, the tube grows itself back. So you got to go test yourself regularly, but that's like 1 in 300.
Mm-hmm.
But I just solve poverty to the maximum extent possible, where it's human behavior and choice, not genetics or born with a disability or accidents or things like that. Now watch everyone scramble to find out why that shouldn't work and why I'm a bad guy. I just solved poverty. I just made it so the human race can advance way more quicker. We can get off the Alpha Centauri, maybe find out the purpose and point of this universe. I just gave you the blueprint to leap jump forward. Where the Roman Empire didn't collapse, and instead of landing on the moon in 1969, we would have landed on it before Columbus discovered America. All right. Now here you go. Do you want it, or does that take away the feminist power or go against the narrative? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, wasn't there some years back, maybe this is still ongoing, wasn't there theoretically going to be some sort of male birth control pill that was being developed?
Yeah, I'm sure it's in the works, but you gotta remember to take it. How reliable are women in taking the birth control pill?
Well, not at all. I was just thinking, I remember when word about this was going around, for some reason, feminist groups were putting up a shit fit. And it's like, what do you care?
It takes the power away. Dude, do not think that feminism is about the equal treatment of women. Now, some women who claim to be feminists do actually believe that. But the real engine, the real powers that be, the real string pullers, it's all about being a professional victim so that they can get extra money. And boy, God almighty, if you got a kid, you got to view a kid as a football. Okay. And it gets you things. Okay. You got possession of the football. All right. You get government handouts, you get sympathy, you're a strong, independent, single, whatever the fuck other bogus and not so bogus, real financial benefits they decide to give you. All right. If you take that away, like, well, and the argument is dead on arrival, because all you have to do is just take the most common basic arguments that the feminists give you. Say, my body, my choice. You want equality, right? That's what you've been arguing this entire way. I just want to be like you. And you know what? Can they stop you?
If they ever reinstituted the draft, the first thing I would say is my body, my choice.
Well, no, I'm trying to point out, what can feminists do if we decide to, like, I make billions of dollars. Now this guy's doing a vasectomy fundraising thing to fund vasectomies for guys who want it and can't afford it. Let's say I make my $1 billion. I'm Bill Gates for whatever reason. I sell a ton of these seminars. All right. And I got $48 billion. All right. I would totally throw that all towards the vasectomy. I would like, we're getting every young man get a vasectomy, and we're going to educate you. You could still have kids. All right. But this prevents you. It's no different than getting a vaccination against the measles or chicken pox or anything else. It's just tetanus. It's like, dude, this is.
I'll answer your question.
All right.
You know exactly what would happen if this went down. The feminists and women in general would probably and then the pussy ass politicians would step in and try to stop it somehow, whether with regulation or something. That would happen.
Well, I know it would happen, but I don't see how they're going to stop it. If you're an 18-year-old adult male and you can still have kids, it's your body. It's already there. You could just walk in and say, no, I'm getting one.
Yeah.
Like I get pissed off when guys say, I went to the doctor and he said he wouldn't do it. I said, well, I guess you go find another fucking doctor then, huh?
Well, that's kind of what I was that's what I was getting at, was like, the politicians would basically make it extremely difficult. Like, they would put some kind of sanctions on there for medical professionals who assisted with that. It'd be like underground abortions in the 60s.
Well, then you fly to Europe. Or one thing I always got a kick out of is like, oh, abortion is illegal in, I don't know, pick your state, Alabama. I'm like, well, drive to Mississippi. I mean, I understand, being a libertarian, you have the right to murder your baby according to law. Okay, go ahead. Or fetus, whatever you want to call it, whatever makes you sleep at night. Go ahead. I don't care. Right. But to show you how dumb people is, because a lot of people, look, guys are dumb. They don't do the math on a 10-second orgasm versus 18 years of child support. And women don't, I mean, really think about these gals. Oh, I can't get an abortion in Alabama. Well, do you think it's worth the $250,000 of child rearing expenses to maybe do a road trip for 3 hours to go to the next state over and get one over at Planned Parenthood?
Oh, of course.
Well, no, but they're too stupid to think that. There are that many stupid people out there. I'm saying we nip this in the bud early on. Saying, look, get a vasectomy, raising awareness for a vasectomy. I'm being deadly serious about it. Now, larger point, previous to what I was saying before, I just solved poverty. I did. But, it's up to society to do it. I give you the blueprints, but I don't. So,
in a perfect free market, I can see that working. God, the politicians, man.
Then what? Go to Mexico. Go to the Philippines. Well, I'll set up. Do you ever watch Dirty Rotten Scoundrels?
Oh, of course.
Dr. Emil Schaffhausen of the Schaffhausen Institute. Did you ever remember? It was Michael Caine's character.
So we watched this over Christmas when I was in Portland, and the only scene I can remember is when Steve Martin goes to the bathroom at the dinner table. But I know there was other stuff.
Okay, when you were drunk, he plays a psychologist who heads up. He's Dr. Emil Schaffhausen of the Schaffhausen Institute. And so I was thinking we could have the Clary Vasectomy Institute, and it's over in the Philippines. Because why? Because fucking they won't bother me.
That's true.
You come in here, we got the greatest surgeons from South Korea. Come on in, get your vasectomy. Here's your bag of frozen peas. Go watch the game. I mean, it would. I would do more. I'm not kidding. I would do more to end poverty than the UN ever did, but that's not that high of a figure. I will do more to end poverty than all the Democrats did, all the socialists did. Of course, they create poverty. Being deadly serious.
Hey, I back you up on this.
I know. So I have point and purpose and reason in living now. If I ever do a nonprofit, the Clary Vasectomy Fund or whatever, where we literally help poor kids in poor communities not be no. And then I don't care how much the feminists read. I've had 40 years of their fucking bullshit. They can fucking sit on a dick. Or a toy in their case.
Some of
this all came from a CPA question.
No, well, I was just going to tell you something happened here with everything before 10 p.m. for me went away. Do you still have you do. You still have the stuff. Okay.
I got the Ice Nose. Yep.
Ice Nose for $7.62. Do African Americans graduate college at the Carlson School of Management with a degree in entrepreneurship and labor to lease Beamers and rent furniture?
No, everyone who goes to the Carlson School of Management does. It's not just the blacks. It's everyone. Though you do know who the majority of people who are going now?
Either women or who?
Women, but they're really targeting the East Asians and the Asian community.
Oh, because they got the money. They pay the full tuition.
And they don't know, right. And an American degree is and it just angers me because this is the classical example where what group of people does African American studies programs hurt the most?
Well, the African Americans, they're actually studying it because you can't get a job with that degree.
Right. What group of people do women's studies degrees hurt the most?
So my sister got a degree in that, but she went straight to law school. So yes, it hurts women who do not go on to get some kind of graduate degree.
And so in general, the universities and colleges, of which the Carlson School of Management being one, they target minorities because empowerment, education to the and we all know it's the 1099 superior race that is the true path to success. So they do disproportionately target minorities because of affirmative action and they want to just show their diversity credentials. But it's no different than the Beamer, hey, look at this. It's poison. It's all bad for you unless you're going into IT or accounting. But yeah, pretty much the vast majority of everyone who goes to the Carlson School comes out with that dude, bro, I'm going to make it. And then they go lease the Beamers, 3 series used. And
permit me a 30. I need a 30-second rant here. I know he was trying to be funny and everything. There are schools, including my graduate MBA program, that offer entrepreneurship as a concentration. You can't study how to be an entrepreneur. You just have to do it and see what works. That's such a bullshit concentration.
That should tell. And I went online and I calculated the percent of entrepreneurship professors that actually ran a business at the Carlson School. It was actually shockingly high. It was 54%, more than half. But still, you're like, how can you be a professor of entrepreneurship if you've never ran a business?
I just can't believe that that's a real concentration.
It's proof. And it's not just the Carlson School, but it's all business colleges that offer it. They're frauds. They're scams. Don't go to these schools. Go online to Western Governors University or ASU Online, get your bachelor's degree in accounting, get your master's in accountancy, and go get your CPA.
Just, well, you've already talked about MBAs, but God, never get an MBA. So I don't have the next ones. I need you. Oh,
Nonstop
okay.
Dre. Yep.
Nonstop Dre for $5.
By the way, a black man. If you didn't know, he's black.
A tall one.
A tall one too. Yeah.
How many hours and how much money do you think most guys spend roughly chasing and impressing girls from the age of 18 to 35, including the total spent on cars and homes? That'd be a good exercise to try.
$260,805.
Is this from your recent work?
And that is a low ball estimate because that does not include granite countertops and bailing your wifey poo or your fiance out of her student loan debts or anything like that. The numbers get very, obviously it's an estimate. It varies. But yeah, that's how much I added up. That's your capital outlays over the course of your life.
So
adjusted for inflation, like in today's dollars.
I'm sure this is in the whole study here, but I would be interested in knowing how you came up with that figure.
Well, for what I'm going to estimate to be, it's going to be a $30 book. For $35.99, you can buy the book and find out.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be available paperback, Kindle. I don't think I can do audio because there's going to be too many charts. I don't think this is really one you got to read visually to see the data. So yeah, it will be coming out.
Okay. Persian King 1374 for $7.99 Australian. It's because girls love nerdy accountants. Good evening to you, Mr. Celery, and the great elk from Melbourne. Some girls actually do like nerdier guys. Now, you can't be a total nerd, like, no social skills or graces or anything. Some girls find it endearing. I'm just saying.
Every once in a while, I've had a girl like me for now they were kind of geeky too. One gal was super genius and she liked me. And had I known better back then, I would have been more like, you're getting your teeth done. You're taking that blanket you wear around your body for a dress and getting some real clothes. You're going to eat something and you're going to look like a real freaking woman. But I was young and foolish and I didn't know anything back then.
Just as a heads up, for whatever reason, my chat, it limits, 20 minutes between the first and last message. That's why I need to rely on you for these super chats. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Let's go faster then.
Okay, Jason Bailey for $5 Canadian. Chad and Cappy's thoughts on New Hampshire. No state income or sales tax, phasing out dividend tax, open carry. Sounds good to me. What's the downside? I've never been. It's one of the few states I've never been to, so I've
never been there. Yeah, I think, Jason, that's probably the main drawback is it's like Florida, except it's to the north. It's so far off in a remote corner of the United States. You really got to be intent. Like, you really have to go to New Hampshire. Whereas if you're like, well, I want to go to Vegas, well, I'll hit California and Arizona along the way too. Like, you really want to go to New England. To go there. Otherwise, no, it sounds wonderful. A lot of people say there's the nice, Adirondacks or the Smokies kind of taper off there, or Acadia, whatever. There's a couple little mountain ranges up there. Yeah, no, I go ahead, check it out. It's going to get cold.
I was going to say, I'm so over winters and I'm not looking forward to the one here, but
What's wrong with winter?
You've lived here.
Oh, you mean in Illinois? Oh, I was thinking, what's wrong with winter? And I realized that I'm in Vegas.
Yes.
See, I
know where you live now, motherfucker, in Vegas.
No, you know where my buddy lives now, and I get to stay with him.
That right, yeah.
Man, I could go any other place I want.
That is true. Shout out to the guy who drove me to the airport. Won't say his name.
Yep.
Okay. Classic Bassman for $5. What are the pros and cons of going back to the gold standard? This is you. I don't.
The pros is it would immediately end inflation. You have price stability. The cons is there's not enough gold to keep up with the growth of the economy, let alone the global economy. I mean, what U.S. GDP is 21 trillion. I don't know what forget world supply. What's the U.S. supply of gold? And do you want to mint gold? And do we want to transact in gold? Now, I admit we could do a paper or digitally back, like it's in the Federal Reserve vaults or the vaults of Fort Knox, and Goldfinger's going to go after it, but James Bond will stop him. But it's you're going to have let's say we have a booming year, 10% increase in GDP. Well, you better go get 10% more gold. Well, what if the mines don't produce 10% more gold? Well, and so you're almost forced, and I think the future is going to be digital currency. I really do think cryptocurrency is going to be the future because we already freaking have it. When you think about that, we don't have dollars. All we have is a very elaborate accounting system that tracks who owns what. That's it.
You think they're going to be cashless at some point?
No, I think we'll always have some form of cash because even if cash goes away, people will barter. And then you'll actually see like, you're all worried about, the United States government's going to go cashless and then we're going to lose. It's like, well, use Bitcoin, use silver. That's going to give huge demand to cash transactions. And now they just made the IRS's job a lot harder when people pay in cash. So, I mean, because you're going to force it to a barter or a more precious metals basically. And then you'll see demand and the price of your silver go up and your gold.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, gold became the currency for a reason, but it is not now for other reasons, historically speaking. All right. Did I miss some? I don't know.
I can't tell, man. Like it stops. Okay, Atham. $2. Chad and Cap equals chaparritos. Atham equal El Guapo and Elber Gun.
What's Elber Gun?
I don't know. Elber Gun.
I know he's the handsome. He's almost as handsome as us.
Yeah, we have the pictures to prove it from last week.
Yeah, we're a bunch of good-looking guys. I was like, man, we're all right looking for all of us in our 40s practically.
Some compliments, yeah.
Why can't I find a man? Oh, they don't exist. They're all gone. There's been a run on them, and they all been killed. I'm sorry. All right, DJ Aftershock.
DJ Aftershock. Come on, stop dissing Carlson, man. Me and my homies are kind of a big deal there, man. I just got a pretty sweet commish with my MBA from there, dude, bro. Yeah.
I'm gonna take one last walk through the campus. I haven't been there in 10 years, probably 15. Before I moved, just like, oh yeah, I patrolled this, and the campus has a certain smell in fall. It was my happiest days at campus was during fall. But I am going to stop in at the Carlson School of Management and just look and see what kind of douchebags are there. Because does the dude bro even exist anymore? Is it going to be like Gen Z soy boys? I mean, what does your average business major look like today? It's probably disproportionately going to be foreigners, immigrants,
and probably more women too. At least judging by
there was always half women at the Carlson School anyway. Yeah, which I'm fine with. I didn't have a problem with it, but. I unfortunately think they're because foreigners pay a hell of a lot more in tuition. They pay not only out of state, but out of country.
Well, the reason I mentioned it was because when I was at my grad program at Notre Dame, it was only 25% women in the class. And I saw they're always putting out these publications, junk mail. Apparently they've brought that up to 40% now.
Oh,
just
40%.
I graduated 9 years ago. So since then it's just gone up.
40% women?
Yeah.
Oh, what if women don't want to be business people?
You got me. They can go on OnlyFans.
I love how women are allowed to choose anything they want and they have choice except to be a stay-at-home wife and mother. You can't do that. You can't do that. You need to do what men do.
Yeah, being a camera girl is so much more fun than being a mom.
If reality wins in the end every time, man. It wins in the end. All you got to do is sit back and enjoy the show, Chad. Enjoy the show.
I love reality. Red Storm 117 499. What do you think of taking of civilian armies rising in the U.S. due to election? Talking. What do you think of talking of civilian armies rising?
I am for militias, but not in the sense it's normally used. You think, oh, a militia, like it's this dangerous, crazy group of mullet-wearing people from Nebraska. I think a well and organized militia, which was how we fought off the British, by the way, filled with citizens, is absolutely necessary. I even was kicking around forming one, not in a militaristic sense, though that would be part of it, but it was more for like, well, we should have, because what's the number one thing in a post? I was thinking more like a catastrophe, not economic collapse, but what's the number one thing to have when there's no law?
I'm going to say ammunition, like
ammunition, and to have an army so you could keep the peace. And so I was thinking like, okay, it's great. I have my iodine pills and I have my filters and I have my 3-month supply of food. But I was thinking like, okay, we get a group of guys together. We keep the peace. You could protect private property. So Farmer Brown can farm and the water wells are dug and things like that. Also, and this, we're talking like more fighting off looters, like if a hurricane hit and you got to protect your home before the National Guard gets there. So that's kind of what so we'd be doing things like survival, certainly shooting and tactics and training, but a lot of other stuff like, okay, more Boy Scouts is really more what it'd be aligned to. Boy Scouts with guns is essentially what I was thinking. And I think it's absolutely necessary and required, especially now since, the government and people and some politicians think that it's all right not to protect private property or your life. So you're going to have to protect it. And you better have better numbers and better trained. And so, for pure survival purposes, that's how bad it's gotten, is your government is failing in protecting you and your property and your family. So now it's incumbent upon you to do that. And one of the best things you can do is not be a lone wolf, but to have a squad or maybe a brigade, ideally, which would be a lot, but to kind of like hold your ground, like, no, we have law and order here. And you go on to the next village that is the commune, and they all have kombucha over there. You go raid them. But
does Antifa fall into this category?
No, they're not really organized. They're more organized than the right is, but they're not trained and they're way too weak. There's only a certain, like, they're not going to do 30 miles with a 60-pound rucksack. They're not going to clean their guns. That takes effort. They're
just remember, the guys in the chat will probably get this if you don't. Antifa is just an idea.
It really is an idea. What,
really?
Did I miss something?
So I ended up watching that shit show of a presidential debate last night.
I was going to ask you how that was.
it was dude, they were just like two barking dogs. It was extremely disorganized. It was terrible. But Trump finally was like, okay, what about Antifa? And Biden was accusing Trump of supporting white supremacist groups, like Proud Boys. So Trump's like, well, yeah, what about Antifa? Biden's like, that's just an idea.
no, it's okay. All it is an idea. They're not going to like get organized. I mean, some of them might, and most of them will just be slaughterhouse slaves. But your average rank and file Antifa, all they know how to do is agitate.
Yes.
Set fire to things. They know how to be a mob. That's it. When it comes to, like, if they ever got organized and they'd all want to be captains or colonels, and then the people who actually have the real power say, no, you remember what happened at the House of Chop or the Republic of Chop or Chaz or
that Seattle thing. Yeah,
there you go. All right, good luck with that.
That sure didn't do too well.
Yeah, that didn't do too well. Highest murder rate of any city in recorded U.S. history.
Oh, well, I'll field this one. Dylan Doe for $2.99. How did Elkins survive Chirac's latest riots? So they haven't had him in. The last one was in August. This was when they just totally destroyed the liquor store and the Best Buy for like no reason whatsoever in that one little strip mall. Haven't had anything since then, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you. I was talking to my parents last night. I think I'm just going to go visit them in New Mexico when it comes to that election week here. I just don't really want to be around for that.
You're not going to go to Portland?
Yeah, instead of staying here, I'm going to go to downtown Portland and go hang out there. It seems safe. But it didn't really approach the area I'm in. And that initial George Floyd response, it did make it to my office building. And I've told you this, they fucked up the T-Mobile across the street from my office building.
That makes sense. That'll solve. Yeah, they fucked up the T-Mobile. All right.
Ridiculous. So I haven't really been put in any harm's way with this stuff, but I have been thinking about just getting out of here because I don't know what the hell's going to go on the first week of November, but
get out of there. Just get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's also Chicago and it's turning into winter. So I'd go to Santa Fe.
That's what we were talking about. Yeah. MXWS, $5 Canadian. Elber gun sounds like the big sausage in Spanish. It's a pun like bend over. Elber gun.
Yeah, Elber would be big, I guess, and gun is sausage. Doesn't sound Spanish.
Elber gun. Yeah.
Okay. Are we caught up? I think
there's a bunch more.
Here's Fred.
Oh, I'm glad this one came up. Let me just make sure we didn't miss anything else. Dude, I think
if I missed it, we can did we get one?
We missed a bunch. I'll do this one first, then we'll scroll up and do some. Okay. So, do you know what the Illinois fair tax amendment is? Do you know about
it? Be a wealth tax? What is it?
It's so the state of Illinois has always had a flat tax. You know, it's ranged from, it was 3.75 a few years ago. It's 4.95% now. It's always kind of ranged from, 3 to 5% over the years. There's this amendment to the Illinois Constitution that they're trying to implement a progressive tax system. And their argument, so the argument is that most people's, quote, 97% of people's taxes will go down if we do this. I am so freaking against this. Like I'm trying to convince everybody I know to vote no on this fucking thing. Why would I do that? Like, why would I be telling people not to do this? I'm
going to assume because it's going to make your job a lot harder because you have to now consider multiple income brackets. No, why?
Doesn't have to do with my. Think what the bigger picture implications are. This when there's a constitutional amendment to change something that's always been flat tax.
It's just going to be higher taxes you pay. I'm lost.
Help me out. I'll tell you because this has been the argument. People should not pass this thing because if you allow them to amend this thing, it means that they're allowed to raise tax rates to, higher progressive tax rates whenever the fuck they want. And they're going to do it because it's a lot easier to raise everybody's taxes progressively instead of just saying, well, now our tax rate is, 6% for everybody.
I understand that. Why do you care?
Why do I care?
Why do you care?
Me personally?
Yes. How many conservatives live in that town?
I see where you're going with this. Yes.
Aren't you trying to get mobile and move?
I'm getting there. I'm okay. As I was telling you last week, getting pretty close. I really don't think they should do this because everybody knows how broke this fucking state is. And
there should. Okay. Come on, you've dated enough girls there. You've hung out. You know the 5 or 6 guys that aren't rank Marxists. So we all hang out at O'Shaughnessy's. All right.
That is true.
Okay. Just move. Okay. Do you think I care what Minnesota does?
Well, you don't now, although it's going to be forever until you get that.
I know. I'll be leaving one way or another. I cheer on Minnesota to vote for leftist stuff. I'm half tempted to vote for the Democrats here, except for the fact there are some people that live in this state that I care about. Just because I want it to collapse. I think the state as a whole deserves everything you get, and Chicago and Illinois deserves it too. What do you care?
Long term, I don't. I'm just, it's my job to try to talk people into some sense on this, and everybody they're gonna vote yes on this thing. Like I'm just, it's not gonna work in my favor on this. But
all right, let's get the rest of the super chats in here.
Okay. I'm going to start out because I know we passed these and hopefully we didn't miss any.
Go.
For $1.99, Resurrecting Man. For the Cappy Finds the Meaning of Life Fund.
That's good. I think I found it, but.
Okay. The next one should be from Iron Eagle 145.
Okay. I don't know. You read it.
Okay. $10. Fenced since 2015. Became an ER nurse, now in nurse practitioner school on a minority scholarship as a white straight male in a female dominated profession. Hey.
So you got a minority scholarship?
Yeah, it's like when I worked for that Mormon bank, I was the diversity hour.
Okay, maybe it does go the other way a little bit then.
So
good. He's gonna fly above the bullshit. Like I got the 411 on the nurse world. I always thought all nurses were great. Like, oh, they're doing that, and then they start. Well, apparently there's like, I knew this already before though. There are tranches of nurses, but your basic ones, the gabby, chatty, complain, the ass wipers, I guess that's kind of low grade, pain in the ass drama queen. And if you become a registered nurse or nurse practitioner, you just fly over that bullshit. Like, you don't have to deal with it.
So what you're missing are the TikTok nurses. And I know everybody in the chat's going to know what that means. Okay. So the next one I have is from, oh shit. Okay. We did that one. It was, okay. Next one. Okay. No, we did that one too.
I stay on top of things.
I think we're good. Yeah.
Okay.
The next one, yeah, we did the fair tax. And then, okay, we're caught up. There's this one other one, and you see it right now.
Right.
Persian King, 1374, Australian, 799. Chadius McThaddeus III is a dude bro NBA baller. You missed a bunch of supers. I'm actually concerned we did miss a bunch of supers.
Well, hang on. Let me pull something up here. This is what I do for a living. I'm a professional YouTuber, podcaster person, and I do things.
Let me see if anyone said anything about missing any.
I just don't, you know what I got to do, because we're getting so many people that tune in nowadays, which is a good sign. I should just know to log into this and pull up my, there's an archive. So I got to go to my bookmarks. This is until YouTube changes it.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd it go?
Maybe we didn't miss anything. I just thought there was a bunch before about 10:15 we didn't get to.
Hang on.
You
know what I'm looking forward to?
Sleeping.
I'm going to finish my seminar on Friday. And I'm not going to do jack fuck all shit. I'm just going to do work and write posts. Okay, Chase McThaddeus. How did Elkins survive? The Civilian. Stop dissing Carlson.
We did those.
Aaron, yep. For the Cappy means San Francisco is considering letting 16-year-olds vote. That's from Nonstop Trade for $2.
That'd be terrible.
That'd be terrible if like 16-year-olds just voted for more. What are they afraid they're going to lose the Democrat vote? What? You know why they're probably doing that?
Why? I can't imagine.
I'm going to guess. So 16-year-olds can bang adults. That's really, I just think that's probably what they want to do. Ray John. Hey, Ray John's back for $2 Canadian dollars. He just says, hey.
What's up, Ray John? I'm glad you didn't ask us a perverted question.
God, we did miss some here. Persian King, 1374 for $8 Australian dollars. Most of education is about creating jobs for the otherwise unemployable. Exactly.
Yes.
Half your bachelor's degree is just employing these fucking worthless liberal arts and social science majors who are fucking parasites on society. You want to lower tuition, get rid of all your prereqs. Right there, boom. But Cappy, I don't want to do it. I just told you how to cut tuition in half. I had to do a gender pay gap presentation for my master's in accounting.
What?
Persian King, you should have hit me up. I would have given you all the data to say. And
hold up.
Yeah.
That I can't see how that would have been possible in a master's in accounting. I can't.
That's all they're doing now is they're forcing this. This is the Marxists coming in and forcing victimhood politics into everybody. And I hope all you young kids who pay $800 a credit for these unnecessary things. And by the way, you don't learn anything that has anything to do with your degree. Remember who's bringing this to you: the left, the Democrats.
God, that's terrible. It shouldn't be seeping into accounting like that.
Well, it's seeping all over because that's most important. Persian King for another $2 Australian dollars. In ounces, in Oz, it's 3 years experience for accounting.
Oh, okay.
Casanadio for $5. Read Harrison Bergeron brought tears to my eyes. I can see the parallels to where our society is going. Thanks for the recommendation, Cappy. Casanado. Yeah, Harrison Bergeron is a great book to read, but it's it would complement very well. Sanity is the future of wealth. Which, did I tell you that good news that that essay I wrote, Sanity is the Future of Wealth?
I saw it was rated high, right?
Yeah, it made #1 in a new release in economic theory.
Cool.
Yeah, so it sold a lot. And then I dedicated it to you and Anthem. I thought you guys would be touched by that.
I was touched in a sense that the true sign that you're with good friends is that all you guys do is try to talk shit to each other and make fun of them. So yes, thank you. I was very touched.
For those of you who don't know, on the dedication page, I said, to Chad and Anthem, may your unforbidden love. May the world never judge your unforbidden love for one another. Stay brave and stunning.
And there was this picture of us towards the end of the.
You gotta show your mom. You gotta show your dad. They'd be very proud.
They were already surprised enough. They're like, "Wait, you went out there and went hiking? What else do we need to know?"
Me and Adam were wondering if you're going to make it. Like, hey, Adam, man, you think Chad's really going to show up? I'm like, then you did.
What else? What's the next one?
Dylan Doe for $2. Is Elkin still in Chirac? Yes, he is.
Yeah, for now.
And then we got Classic Baseman. All right, so we got caught up on all of them.
We did, and now there's more after
now there's more. Damn this money.
Yeah, you assholes. Quit giving us money.
Greatest septic tank ever. All right, see, here's what people are pissed off. I sell a seminar on how to get you out of financial trouble, how to save money. I give you the psychological wherewithal to become unaddicted to spending, to become unaddicted to materialism. #1 cause of all financial problems, right? But then I get people just throwing me, they're perfectly fine with $5 here, $10 there, $2 there for like, hey, Chad's a butt knob. And I'm like, that's okay. That's fine.
If passed, I can move to Georgia, Missouri, California, New York. None of those, well, I guess Georgia's okay. Not California, New York, obviously.
Oh, like Georgia. Georgia was all right. I'm okay with Atlanta too. It's crowded, but I guess that's Missouri.
Missouri, yeah.
Yeah, and that's not Montana. I've never been to Missouri. I guess I would go Missouri or Georgia. Georgia gets hot.
I've only been to St. Louis, and that didn't seem like that great of a city. No offense to anybody from there.
But do we know if he's going to St. Louis though?
No, that's true.
He's going to Branson, yeah.
Branson. Well, either Georgia or Missouri is the answer. Ray John. Well, we have one. Shoot, man, we got a bunch in between there.
Did we?
Yeah, I'll do the next one.
Okay.
Stephen Ochoa for $5. Just enrolled into my company's 401k on top of my IRA. Going to put 30% of my income into retirement now. Glad I keep my expenses low. Yeah, saving is good. I guess just don't put everything into retirement, live some life.
Right. I'd also make sure you get your silver and crypto. And, old Cappy there, just recommending that too. Make sure before any of that, you have 3 to 6 months cash.
Yeah.
Expenses. That's #1. So you don't have to be anybody's boss's bitch. Make sure you got 3 to 6 months cash so you can bail on a psychotic boss if you need to.
The next one I have, did you do this one? It's $2. Ice Snows. California is considering reparations. Comments?
Good. They can tax their own citizens. Have them do it.
It's there. If you live in that state.
I wrote an article. Look, they arbitrarily banned gas cars in 2035. Okay. I made the case for California's communism. Let's do it. Do it. See what happens. So we don't, for the remaining 49 states, don't have to go through it. We can figure out whether it works or not.
The only thing that worries me about that is it might get other states to do that shit.
This is why I have a lot of work on my plate to do. In addition to Operation Evil and books and shit and things, I got to get to overseas and find new ground. I mean, I love people like, oh, relax, you work too much. Yeah. It's like, I'm sorry, do you have $500,000 that I can just use? Yeah. So, all right, continue on.
Nonstop Dre for $2. Marines are considering co-ed boot camp. Thoughts?
Don't care. Enjoy the decline. You really got to get me something new that really is going to piss me off because I'm already clocked out. You
saw Starship Troopers. You saw that before,
yes,
right?
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
Well, I just thought it was interesting and funny how they had those shower scenes where it was like, mixed men and women. Thought that was kind of funny.
It was in the 90s. I don't remember it. But.
All right. The next one is Fred Friedman Sowell for $2. 72 Democrats lowered the age to 18. Nixon won 49 states. Voting. I think he means voting.
Oh.
Yeah.
I still don't think the 16-year-olds are going to vote. Look, the 16-year-olds are going to vote Democrat. That's just how it's going to go.
Of course. They're young and stupid. Persian King 1374, 299 Australian. The subject was called accounting ethics. Okay, that's why he had to do a stupid
ethics, right?
Yeah, that sucks. Ray John for $2 Canadian. I gotta take a shit right now. Thanks.
What
dude.
What time did he post that? Do you got a timestamp on that?
10:50. 10:50.
All right, so I'm before all these. So let me do this. Ray John Lebrando for $2 Canadian. I'm a socialist. Yes, but you pay, so your voice is heard. Stephen Ochoa. Here we
did
go.
This one. Yeah.
All right. So you're ahead of me. Marines. Okay. Democrats. There's Fred's.
Yeah.
Persian King. All right. Now we're back to Ray John. I got to take good, Ray John.
Thanks for the $1.25.
If everybody gave me $2 every time they had to take a shit, I would be rich.
That is true.
Never a dull moment on the Good Morning Coronachan show.
So Fred Friedman Sowell for $2. Coney Barrett and Elkins have Notre Dame degrees. Yeah, there's been so the response from Notre Dame has been interesting. There's a sizable conservative faction that's really happy about her appointment, but somehow that damn school has turned liberal in the past 15 years. So you're getting other people, Notre Dame alums.
Can't they just say, hey, a fighting Irish made it?
Everything.
Okay. Now, everything's politics.
Everything's
By the way, which will be in my upcoming book, Analyze the Return on Investment on the Pursuit of Women. You'd be surprised. Well, you wouldn't be surprised with the statistics on politics.
It'd be depressing, I'm sure.
It's going to be very depressing. Yeah.
Atham for $2, something I agree wholeheartedly. That dessert place in Utah was awesome. So you got 3 desserts, Atham. Clary got 2?
I got 2.
2? Was I the only one that just got a shake?
Yeah, but we let you have bites of ours so you could try it.
Yeah.
Plus you're only like 5'1", so your stomach is much smaller. So we had to you could only afford.
Despite my attempts to gain weight, it just won't happen.
Running 8 miles a day doesn't help. I'm just pointing. I'm no.
Definitely doesn't help. I need to drink more beer and find other outlets for stress relief. We're actually caught up.
Cool. I want to go through this real quick. Did you hear about this lottery winner in Jamaica? Okay, lottery winner claims jackpot in scream masks, so his relatives don't recognize him. Winning $1 million lottery is a dream for a lot of us have. Most of us imagined what we would do with it if we ever got $1 million and how we would spend it. Recently, a Jamaican man won $1.2 million cash prize in the lottery and turned up to collect his award money with a mask on. Why, you ask? Well, that's because he wanted to hide his identity from his relatives so they didn't hound him for money.
Hold on.
The lottery, yeah.
Keep going. I got it. Just go ahead.
Okay, hang on. Where we go? The lottery winner, identified as A. Campbell, decided to collect the prize by wearing the ghost face mask from Scream. And if you ask me personally, the idea is bloody brilliant. They say bloody because Jamaica is a former British protectorate. Campbell patiently awaited 54 days to collect his $158 million in Jamaican dollars, 1.2 million US, from the nation's Super Lotto after he originally won the contest in November of 2018, according to a report by the Jamaican Star. Campbell fell sick when he found out he won the Super Lotto. He said, I found out I won the same night. Normally, I would write down the numbers from the televised draw, eat, and then go back and check my numbers. I looked at my ticket that night and ran to my bathroom and said, I won. I want to get a nice house. I haven't found it yet, but I'll be looking for one soon. I like to handle money. I don't beg. I don't borrow. So I'm looking at things that can turn over the money. I have a little business, so I plan to make it bigger, buy an apartment. Love to have money. So he's doing good. Picture he's just
what was he wearing?
He was wearing the Scream face mask.
Oh, okay.
Oh God. Okay. I was reading the article. Okay. Anyway, so you could do that too. This guy's brilliant. Why? I bet you Dre knows why. I bet you
is he tall and black?
Did you know within the black community that if you succeed, the rest of everyone within your community expects you to give them your money?
Oh, dude, that counts for tax refunds too. I hear it all the time.
What do you mean that counts for tax? What?
I have some African-American clients that every time...
We say black here. We don't waste our time with political correctness. We're not doing a disrespect to different people of different... He's black. We're white. Atham's pygmy. So, you know, pygmy. Yeah.
There's been occasions in the past where a black client of mine will be due a very big refund, whether it's for earned income credit, kids, or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so they would be happy, but then they would look, you know, not so happy. And I'd be like, what? You're getting $6,000 back. Damn it. Now I got to give it to my brother, my brother's kid, my sister, you know. Yeah.
Nope. That's why it's... Now, if I won the lottery, do you think I'd tell anyone?
Of course not. Why would you tell people?
You don't tell anyone. You don't tell anyone. Because other people will come out of the woodwork. Okay. You just, oh no, and you still drive your piece of crap car. You still live in your crappy house, and you don't tell anyone. I think it's brilliant what the guy did. Because you know what happens? Like NBA players or football players that get drafted, guess what happens?
Of course, every uncle, cousin.
Right. Hey, come on, man. Give me the 7 sticks of Kwanzaa or whatever it is, the 8 pillars of Kwanzaa. One is sharing. Like, oh, there's a shock. Like, really? Just say communism. Just say other people's shit. Just say it. All right. Don't mask it behind some kind of cute things like the menorah. Just say other people's shit. Okay.
Took this fun seminar when I was in grad school. This one was actually good. It was a 1 credit hour thing. It was called Athletes in Accounting. What do you think that was about?
That was about how to save money and how to save money for retirement and how to spend more than you make and to not get a ton of women pregnant so that you have a ton of child support payments.
What percentage of professional athletes would you estimate that become bankrupt after they finish playing?
I know the answer to this for the NBA. It's 60%.
I thought it was only 55, but I guess it's gone up.
Maybe. Well, that was the NBA. That doesn't include the Major League Baseball or an NFL.
And this was 10 years ago too.
Right. So it could have changed a little bit. Right.
Yeah. Not good. Okay. What's next? Fred Friedman sell for $2. Pursue women return on investment is equal to the 1970 Soviet farm return on investment. As Trump would say, not good.
Not good. No. All right. Now, here I am.
We got more.
No, I know, but I have to do this. So that is going to be deleted. I'm just deleting something. Hang on. That is going to be deleted. And guess what?
What's up?
Hang on. Give me a second.
Are you deleting comments?
No, I'm not deleting comments. I have closed the class on Teachable. The minimalism seminar is now closed for enrollment. So you have to wait until it's open again next time, which I don't know when that will be.
Damn it. I missed my chance.
I don't think you need it. Most people here don't need it. This is just if you're new. It's just if you're new. All right. What's next? Oh my God.
The next one. The next one is Fred Friedman Sowell again. And he asks, can I drink with Elkins this weekend? I probably got to work a bunch this weekend, but yeah.
You guys have got to get together. You two,
you know them?
Dude, your two minds. Yes. Go meet up with this guy.
Do you live in Chicago, Fred?
He lives in Chicago.
Oh, okay. Hit me up.
So, you guys should definitely get together.
Persian King 1374, 449 Australian. Communists about to use the Chan for a power grab. Yeah, the Coronachan.
Mm-hmm. They might.
Dre, $2. I'm not even going to read that.
Come on, you got it, Dre. Come on.
But Cappy, what about giving back to the community? I've heard that so many times. Like, you know
who I hate. I just want to punch in the face.
Quite a few people.
Well, yes. Okay. Of the many that fall into this category, it's high school graduates. Like, I want to major in something so I can get back to the community. It's like, number one, you haven't done shit at all for the community. Number two, you don't even know what the community is. You've been in school. And number three, let's not kid anybody. You're saying that because it's an easy fucking job. There ain't no job out there where you're giving back to the community that requires calculus, hard work, manual labor, or producing a fucking product people willingly pay for. You're going to stand there with a cup in your hand, begging and pleading for taxpayer handouts like a fucking government grant. And you're going to go like, and I can't even say real words because that's all it is. Give me money. The children.
Have I told you how I, quote, give back to the community?
I produce a good and a service people willingly pay for, and I produce GDP and I pay my fucking taxes. I support myself as well. That's how I give back to the community. How do you give back to the community, Chad?
I do all that, but if I'm feeling extra generous, I just go and donate a pint of blood and get, all kinds of free medical tests for that, get the result, and then that's it. It's the laziest way to give back to the community, and I'm happy to be lazy and do it.
So, but you get like a free cholesterol test, right?
You get a free you get a free COVID test, cholesterol test, triglycerides. Obviously they're giving you like an STD panel because you can't donate blood if you have hepatitis or HIV.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, and I happen to have one of the more rare blood types where they need me as a donor, so I just do that every 3 or 4 months.
Do you got that baby blood?
Baby blood?
Yeah, have you ever heard of that?
I have the type I have is called AB negative. The other reason I do this is because where I donate the blood center is a block from one of our good friends' dental offices.
Oh, so you just go there and chill out.
Yeah,
you feel a little loose. Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's win-win.
I miss Chicago. Yeah, I got a buddy.
So MXWS for 5 Canadian. The mask thing is brilliant. The Mexican community is remarkably similar. Maybe it's a global thing. Don't waste your money on super chats either, kid.
Is the Mexican? Well, I guess MX would know. We should have talked to Atham. Like, if someone makes it really big, they become Carlos Slim. Does everyone expect him to like give them money?
I'm gonna guess yes, because I know that in a lot of, and Atham would know more, of course. It's expected that you take care of the in-laws, when you marry. $10 Australia
to any woman I've ever dated whose in-laws thought that I was going to take right there. I don't even take care of my own parents right there.
Unifrog for $10 Australian. My family members don't want my money because they are worried it will result in their welfare payments getting reduced or cut off. It's interesting.
Oh, God.
When you're trying to get as much money from the government, this, you've talked about it. It's behoove, like a lot of times parents try to convince their own kids to not be independent so they can claim more government cheese, when they live together.
When I did the research for this book, the percentage of parents based on actions, be it divorce, daycare, outsourcing their kids, who don't love their children is appallingly high. It's around at least 85% of parents do not love their children as much as they love themselves. They don't hate their children, but they have to choose between sacrifice. They'll not sacrifice for the children. And you guys need to understand, if you don't believe me, go buy this book, How Not to Become a Millennial. 85% of the millennial children were not wanted. And 80% of you guys were not wanted. You were wanted as a thing. They did not want to raise you. There is a key difference. They wanted you as a toy. That is it. You're an object. 85% of you.
Just an accessory.
And I think there's also like, I've passed on my genetic legacy. It's like, it has nothing to do with anything.
Bacon. We haven't seen you yet.
Is Bacon
tonight.
in the house?
Bacon's in the
Bacon
house.
For $2.23 of thegoddamnbacon.com. He has a good podcast.
Bacon was at a meetup recently.
Okay.
Community, blah, ha, ha, chuckles and let him burn a Tarian.
Bacon is half Latino, a quarter black, and a quarter white.
Is he?
He's got the 3 going on there. So he might even be able to speak to that, but he's got to chop off that quarter of him that's white. We got to get rid of that, Bacon. You can't be racist like that.
Dre is the next one for $2. But Mr. Celery, who hurt you? Why are you bitter?
The world hurt me. That's what.
I probably
You're coming in and out, robot.
Hello.
There you go.
Okay, can you hear me?
All right. Yep, I got. Yep.
This
I love it when I love it when the whole world treats you like shit, and they're like, "Well, why are you so angry? You must have problems." Yeah, you motherfucker. And I finally figured out who the assholes are and who the bad guys are. And I'm coming after you. And they're like, "Oh, you got issues." Like, nope, no, you got problems, and it's me. And that's problems. It's this whole we're gonna treat you like shit, and then we're like, "Oh, you gotta get over it." Nope, no, I don't. Got a nice long list. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're just afraid of revenge, and you should be. You very much should be.
So. Problems. Bacon for $2.23. Someone say Coronachan tests #winning.
No.
Space Ghost.
For the speech, I'm gonna do I got a little Terrence Pop cameo in the presentation.
Gonorrhea.
Super gonosyphilades. I won't say what it is because I want whoever might be attending tomorrow or Friday.
Okay.
But I got some zingers in there.
So Fred asks a very Chicago-centric question. Booth or Kellogg MBA better for my dating profile? I'm going to go with Kellogg because, a lot of people think the kids down at Booth are assholes, and they kind of are. Plus, who the hell wants to go to school down in Hyde Park? Do you know where Hyde Park is?
Yeah, it's where Jesse Jackson lived, and he claimed he lived on the south side. It's like, yeah, the south side where there's like $1.8 million condos.
Hyde Park is this cocoon surrounded by shit areas. Mm-hmm. I used to work down there. Yeah, say you went to Kellogg, it's just better. Kellogg is the Northwestern MBA program. Booth is
right, but isn't Booth higher ranked? That's U of Chicago, right?
I think Booth may be a spot higher than Kellogg, but they're both considered like the best of the best.
I'd be impressed if women even know what those words mean. If he's trying to impress women.
I was just telling that friend of mine earlier tonight, if I'm going through dating profiles or whatever, and one of them, and I find a girl who says she got her MBA from Booth, hard no.
Really?
They are the biggest quanta-ha-has. Like they have this complex that they're so special because they went there, and they're just insufferable to spend time with. I know quite a few of them, and it's just, no.
Because I always thought the U of Chicago was very conservative, but I guess that's of the days past.
Well, the school, it might be, but I know that Booth itself, it's not even about politics. They just think that they think they're all that, and they're just bitchy.
Careerists.
Yeah, they're just not pleasant to spend time with.
That's a common phenomenon now, where they are. I don't know. I just don't care. That'll be my answer to everything. I don't care. Because what's the end result there, Chad? You've said it yourself. No, you've predicted this many times. It's your number one prediction.
Oh, about how they're going to be left all by themselves in
in their 40s. Yes.
If there was God, if I could buy a stock that is related to that. Ugh.
There's plenty of egg freezing stocks. Look at chemicals that go into egg freezing. Go buy egg freezing companies.
Wine, cats, cat food.
Wine, cats, cat food. There you go.
Cupcakes. Bacon is half black, 1/4 illegal migrant, and 1/4 racist.
Right.
I could get behind that. Dre for $2. But Mr. Celery, they say Lord and government will provide. What's this celery thing? Like what?
Some kids were, I don't know, it was 2-3 weeks ago. They were doing voice to text because they're too lazy to type. So there was all these mistypings. Clary that sounded like celery, and he didn't check it, so it said Mr. Celery, and so now everyone's calling me Mr. Celery because the voice to text picked it up as celery.
There's worse things to be called.
There's worse things. I don't mind it because it's a joke, because it mocks and ridicules the kids who do voice to text, which I charge more, by the way, because I have to go through all your mistakes.
Also, did you know that when you eat celery, it consumes more calories to actually chew the celery than you insert?
Right. The negative net calorie, right.
Yeah. The next one is Fred again. Looks like you're about ready to
I'm ready to go to bed.
$2. They know. Put new title in SAT. Woke up to 8 matches. Oh, he's saying he put that he went to either Booth or Kellogg in his profile, and he had a bunch of matches. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. That's it. We caught up.
We got another one. Fred says, girlfriend got jealous. I liked her cat, not her. We broke up.
All right. Let me get some sponsors by memory. Adam Piggott, Pushing Rubber Downhill. Check out his blog, his podcast, and his book. All there at pushingrubberdownhill.com. Turd Flinging Monkey, 13 Rules Not to Be a Fucking Cuck. Available at Amazon.com. Linda Gross's book, The Science of Mastering Women. You can find that on Amazon. Linda Gross also has a podcast that she does. She was a very kind woman enough to promote the minimalism seminar. So go check her out. She's a professional. She has her act together. She's been very kind, but more importantly, very professional with me. So I appreciate the timeliness and punctuality. Who else have we got?
Do you do the
bunkerbasics.com? Got that. Who else?
Do you still do academic composition?
Oh, academic. Yeah. How did I forget that? The number one guy, academiccomposition.com. Go there if you need your papers written for college, because most of them are bullshit. They have nothing to do with your degree. Alex's crack team of writing staff will write it for you. Prices are affordable. And if you're looking for a job that you can do from home or a beach or wherever, he's always looking to hire writers and advertisers. So go to academiccomposition.com. Let Alex know I sent you. And then, he hasn't been doing too well. He ran into a couple non-business things he had to deal with, but I hope he's doing well.
Heard about those. Do you do the Luca Vendetti?
Oh, yeah, but I think that's been more than a month now, so I'll take him off the list.
Okay. I'm just going by my memory.
There's some main ones. Oh, non-communist science fiction. If you're interested, .com. Go there if you like to read non-communist science fiction by Michael Kingswood. And then my books, of which I got most of them here. We have How Not to Become a Millennial. This is a must read. Oh, Ryan Stone, The Fook Files. That's nice. This is a philosophical. Have you read this yet?
No, I got to get that. I like Ryan's work.
Pick it up. Yeah.
Check that out. Yeah.
And be prepared to reread multiple paragraphs so you understand this guy is. I mean, we've always known Ryan, and I've listened to his podcast. Like, yeah, this guy's pretty smart. Then I read it. I'm like, yeah, this guy, he's deep.
He's sharp.
Yeah, he's very sharp. Curse of the High IQ. That's for all you smart people out there, which is everyone tuning in, because only smart people tune into my show. But on a more serious note, if you're depressed or sad, can't find friends, finding why you're having a hard time finding love, take a look at that book. Bachelor Economics, The Financial Advice Bible for Men. And then Because We Hate Black People, The Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty, starring our good buddy Marcus Brown on the cover.
Marcus.
Yeah, good old Marcus, man. He's doing good. He's always smart. I always wish I envy his happiness. He's always happy.
Never a negative thing.
Never negative, man. He's just like, hey, man, what's going on, Mr. C? I'm like, God damn it, Marcus. You're always happy. And then, even though it's so new, I don't have a copy of it. Sanity is the Future of Wealth, the post that I wrote and no one read and I put behind a paywall. It's still behind the paywall. If you want to go to subscribestar.com/AaronClaire, you get access to it. But I've published it for cheap. It's $5.50. So I make $1 per book off of it. And then Kindle is $2.99, which is the cheapest you can price it. So it is only an essay. It's a 5x8. It's not that big. And it's 46 pages with 10 pages of advertisement for all my stuff in the back. Because what am I, Chad?
You are a whore. But
I'm a whore, yes.
But we're all in some way.
We are all whores. There's just some of us admit it. Others don't. And that one is selling really well. And apparently people really like it very much. So that's good. And I would recommend that strongly for anyone who is having trouble dealing with the political, not to mention COVID insanity of 2020. If 2020 has been bad for you, or you are very angry with the direction of the country, forget Trump, Biden. You just don't like people burning your shit down and being accused of being a racist or a bigot or having privilege, among many other things. Go get this book or essay, read it, and for $3, it'll make you feel better. And Oh, and then assholeconsulting.com. And then if you really want to help out, you can go olderbrother.com/donate 3 ways. PayPal, you get nothing. The subscribe star link is there. You get access to the podcast and Mary Jo's pinups and everything else. And then there's my Amazon affiliate link, which if you kindly would go do all your online shopping through my Amazon affiliate program there, that'd be great. And that's about it. We got Dark Man Jeff.
We do. Jeff is in the house. For $5, Jeff says, I got a new accounting job after being laid off since March. Actually happy to get back in an office. Jeff, Jeff and we've kept in touch for the past few years, and good things. Good to hear that, Jeff.
What is Jeff going for? I know he's going for a CPA, but does he have a CPA yet?
Not yet. And we were sort of talking about the ins and outs. Like, do you want the CPA? Should you maybe just shoot for an enrolled agent like the EA? So I think he's still figuring that out, but it's good he just got a job.
Now, if he's a single guy and no kids, he doesn't have to become a CPA. You know, he could just make bookkeeping money. I'm serious. You don't have to go make 6 figures.
Let me so do you recall I forwarded you an email I got today? Do you remember what that said? It was somebody who said, I found you through.
Right. Yeah.
This is just really on point. Like the big question is, do I get a CPA or do I not get a CPA? The answer is, if you're comfortable being niche as an enrolled agent, or if you just want to be a bookkeeper, you don't need the CPA. But the accounting, the accounting assistant jobs, accounts receivable and all that, those are going away. A lot of automation. So just be careful.
Jeff, there's no look, you don't need it, but what else? You got anything? You got a hot date with the coronavirus going on? Do you have women pounding down your doors? I mean, if you got spare time, you ain't got no kids, now's the time to do it, because I guarantee if you do get married and then you do have kids, you're not going to have time. You'll have time, but you're going to have to sacrifice something else. You might as well bite the bullet now while you're young.
I'm not sure he needs it, but he says he's still taking classes, and he had a bit of a setback, but he's still taking classes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not worried about him. I'm sure he'll do fine.
He'll be all right. Jeff, shoot me an email if you ever want to run something by me. We have a bunch more super chats. I know you're fading, but
they do this to me. He's tired. Let's throw more money now. It's like, see, but I don't need money.
You really don't. So Miguel Angel Casillas, have we seen him tonight? Maybe
no, we
not.
haven't. He's around.
$5. Why invest in gold, coal, and medical when you can support ESG, non-conforming transgen, non-GMO, minority, eco-sustainable, freezing technology? I mean, it's kind of gonna go up in the future. So
the problem is stock prices have been so delinked and decoupled from profits and cash flow that if they just like the idea, look at Tesla. Tesla doesn't make money without government subsidy.
Right.
All right. Yeah, but look at its price go up. People just like the idea. They're so unhinged. They're so clueless that I guarantee you, if egg freezing technology, there was just one egg freezing technology company that came out, like Theranos, like that gal, just on popularity alone, people throw money at it.
She ever get arrested for the fraud?
I think she did. I think she's facing jail time. Yeah.
So we have bacon for $5.56. Did an Insta live stream when the debate went live on the radio while I was on my way home from the Salt Lake meetup. Recorded what I was able to hear. I felt worse after wasting time watching that whole debate. So yeah,
I'm glad I don't watch any political speeches. I don't watch any political debates. My life is too precious, and so is yours. You vote Republican or Libertarian. You just don't vote for the commies. You don't vote for the parasites. And that's it. There's your political participation. Okay. See, now you're getting tired.
Yeah, this is your fault. Fred for $2. Have to make 6 figs to compete with Big 10 dude bros. Yeah.
You know what's great about Big 10 dude bros with their MBAs who make the 6 figs?
Considering that Carlson's in the Big 10, what?
Well, right. They spend 1.2 times their 6 figs if they make the 6 figs.
Yeah, I see people all the time that can't handle their budget.
Yep, I've seen doctors. I've seen people, dude. I've seen people bring in over 400,000 and they spend 430. I'm like, what in fuck's name are you doing? This is a client I had in person. I'm like, what in fuck's name are you doing? I felt like the nanny. You ever watch that show from the 90s?
I remember the nanny. Nanny.
But I was like not a Fran Dresser. I'd be like this angry, pissed off, cursing, short Irish guy who turned out to be Scandinavian, who was doing financial, like cleaning up. Like, you don't need that. You don't need that. Get rid of that car. Get rid of this thing. Downside this house. Get rid of that.
Might as well confess this now, since I never have. For some reason, when I was like a freshman and that show came out, I thought Fran Dresser was hot.
She is hot. You know, she was a beauty contestant pageant lady.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She is an attractive woman, and her nasally voice, that's shtick. That's the act.
Mhm.
So it's supposed to drive you nuts, but she is in fact an attractive woman. I mean, she's older now, of course, but no, was her real name Fran Drescher?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, Fran Dresser probably is for her age an attractive woman. It's just you got to get over the annoying
voice.
Yeah.
I don't see any more super chats.
All right, we're done.
We just Dre for $2, but Cappy, quote, they say that wasn't real communism.
They're gonna find out. You know Vaush, this guy named Vaush.
No,
he's about as popular a communist you're gonna get on YouTube. He's got about the same following as I do. And I'd like to have him on because and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think he's an avid communist. He believes in communism. And I just want him to like make the case for it in 2020. You know, like, okay, how is it different from 1917 Bolshevikian, you know, Leninism? What is it that we're missing this time? What is your argument in your case for it? Just for my own knowledge and sake, because I think it would be, you know, if we're polite and civil, it would be a setup. It wouldn't be to debate. I would just want him to make his case. I'd ask him questions. Well, how does this work? How does that work? Just so I know.
Geez, Fran Drescher, even today, still looks pretty good.
All right, now you got me curious. We talking like MILF category here, Fran?
I mean, for her age, I think so.
Fran Drescher. Is that how you spell it?
She's got to be like 60 now, and I did a Google search, and I thought she looked pretty good.
Is she doing stand-up?
Well, I don't know what she's doing now. She's
a little older. Yeah, age is hitting her. A lot of these are touched up.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm seeing. Yeah. You must have been looking. Yeah, you were looking at the Wikipedia photo where she's doing like stand-up, like you said.
Yeah, she's got a great body for an older woman. I mean, she's in shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's you know, like for example, the Ghostbuster women's movie, the female Ghostbusters.
Oh God, yeah.
Movie was atrocious. I don't hate any of the female actresses in there because they're making a buck, but their careers were ruined if you touched it. Who was the most popular one? She was on fire, and then she hasn't done a movie since. Was
it Melissa McCarthy?
Melissa McCarthy. But all of them, it was like and I felt a little bit bad from our side of the team. Like, criticize the message, criticize the politics, but don't criticize the actors. They're just acting. That's not like, they may not even agree with the, you know, thing. And so I felt kind of bad for them because, man, they touched that and then their careers are poisoned. I don't know what happened to the black actress. I didn't remember the nerdy glass girl doing anything else. And then McCarthy, I don't know what she's done since.
I thought she was on Saturday Night Live, but I mean, I don't even watch that anymore. So
it's for middle schoolers, basically, or adults who are still with the middle school mentality.
Bacon.
Did I miss Bacon? Oh,
yeah, Bacon's the one before that. Debate hashtag laughter at humanity show style. Make popcorn. Yeah, the debate was like that. That was. Ugh. I'm not watching the next one. Renton for $5. At 26, should I do a trade or get a worthy degree, a 4-year degree? I have an online business, but I can't live off the profit yet. Want to be good by 30.
Oh, I do trade. If I had to do it all over again, I want to go to college because you're going to dick around for 2 years doing bullshit. And you can make just as much money with a trade than you can a college degree.
Anyone who
really high-end college degree.
Isn't it the expression, anyone who masters a trade will never go hungry?
Correct.
Yeah. I think that's it.
No.
No, oh my God, you guys.
Okay, they're $5 or more, and we're not answering anything if it's under $5 because we gotta go to bed. I'm tired. So
Journey, Trials, and Joy. Is the USA done? Has this generation destroyed it? I think it kind of is.
it is. It's not this generation, but it's been the past 4. I'd say, starting boomers. One could argue the World War II generation because they raised the boomers, but okay, say boomers, Xers are shit. I know everyone thinks we're awesome. We're not. Millennials definitely are cancer, and Gen Z is yet to be determined, but it looks like they're just going to be a repeat of the millennials.
Well,
if you can get even more soy,
I'll do what I can to mentor Gen Z. Noah Acosta for
hey,
$2.
Yeah, how you doing, Noah?
Noah, reread Plunder chapter, Time to Get My Money Back. I read that book of yours 6.5 years ago. I guess I'll reread it.
Yeah, Plunder is important. That's how I'm viewing Operation Evil. I'm taking all my money back from the predominantly women, but other leftists who have voted my money to go to them through taxes. I'm simply taking it back.
So Journey, Trials, and Joy for $2.99. He actually asked the same question
twice.
Yeah.
Oh, he was being very polite. He was providing the $5. See, he did $2 there.
Okay.
See, that's very. There's some honor.
Yeah, there's you go. That's classy.
All right,
classy.
That's it. Plug your stuff.
elkincpa.com is where you can find me. There's 15 more days to do your taxes for 2019, so I'll just say it. Do not contact me. We have a book that's on Amazon, Elkin's Comprehensive Tax Guide, yada, yada, yada. So
cool. All right. Well, you have a good night. Take us out of Oh, my God. Jesus, Chad, I forgot. Everyone bow your heads in prayer. Dear great and merciful Coronachan, thank you for your non-sentient and zero fucks given truth, the teeth and threats that have been missing so much in the real world that are yet necessary for us to value life, acknowledge truth, and love our fellow man. May your nature continue to expose the evil and parasitic among us, the lazy and those that put themselves above all others, our slave masters who have kept us enslaved, teachers who can be replaced by YouTube, and the stupid and unprepared who ride for toilet paper when there is none. Bless us, O great Coronachan, and reward us, specifically those of us who were smart enough to have a 1-month supply of toilet paper and who stocked up on 5.56 ammo as a matter of basic insurance policy. And may thine blessing come in the form of lower asset prices, less boomers, less traffic, cheap gas, and near-free airline flights. In thy name, Wuhan, Wuhan. Amen. Now take us out appropriately.
First time you've ever done that when I've been on. Toodles.